Now, it's a story that's been all over the papers for days. The mass methanol poisonings in a popular backpackers hostel in Laos. 6 people have died after drinking alcohol laced with methanol. Arrests have been made and tourists are being advised to be cautious when buying cocktails and mixer drinks from local vendors. Now, when I saw this, Cole, I immediately thought of you because Kira travelled to that area, didn't she, when she was travelling?
Yeah, I mean, when this came out in the paper, I knew that she'd been to Laos. But then when it came out in the paper, I kind of forgot. And then I thought, did she go there? And then she texted me and thought, Mum, that's where me and Max were. And I've got to say that it could so easily have been them. Yeah. And all of those things as a parent, when your kids go, oh, I'm going travelling, are your biggest fears. I mean, Kira was originally meant to be going travelling before lockdown with her friend. They'd have both been 18, 2 girls. And I was absolutely dreading it, but I thought there's nothing I can do. They're 18, but I don't know. The 2 of them seemed to me still look 12, and I thought they looked so vulnerable walking around, you know, where we lived, let alone going miles away. So after lockdown, obviously, she then went with Max, her now fiancé, and I felt better about it for him as well. But she was very good because she FaceTimed me every day, Kira, and if she wasn't FaceTime, she was texting. I said, that's all I asked for. It doesn't have to be constant, but I just need to know you're OK. And I remember when she went there, it was her least favourite place.
Oh, really?
Of everywhere she went, and she went everywhere. And they stayed in all the hostels. I mean, they did it really properly, not for me, but they did it how they wanted to do it, you know, 14-hour coach journeys here, there and everywhere, staying in these hostels, some of which were lovely. That one wasn't particularly. And she didn't like it there. She said, it's my least favourite place. And I don't know, it just comes up and I can't imagine how those... I can imagine how they're feeling because it is your biggest fear, but you can't stop them. And she's learnt so much by travelling. She doesn't actually want to do it again, funnily enough. But she has learnt so much life experience.
And, you know, our hearts and our love go out to all those families that have been affected by this. But as you say, Colleen, when our kids reach a certain age, it's something that a lot of us will have to get our heads around, is our kids wanting to travel. But it's something you've thought about when you were pregnant with your boys, Frank.
Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous, but from the minute I knew I was having boys, well, a boy for the first time, I remember having a conversation with Wayne where I was like, oh, no, like, one day he's going to want to go on a lad's holiday. And he was like, what are you talking about? It's not even born yet. But I was just like, it just terrified me. Just, you know, like, you know, I'd be worried if I had a daughter as well. But I just kind of feel like, you know, as a girl, I know that, you know, when you go out with your girl mates, you, like, look after each other. If someone's not well, you take them back and one of you would generally stay. And I know I'm generalising here, but... and I just, you know, when I was growing up at my secondary school, we actually lost a couple of boys on lads' holidays, you know, doing various dangerous things and whatever. So I think it's just always, like, stuck in my mind because they have these, like, silly moments. They're daredevils and they do these things so they don't necessarily think of the risks, like maybe I'm such, like, so risk adverse. But I think it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's like there's only... The horrible thing is we can teach them and we can tell them as much as possible, but we know from being younger, even when you know right from wrong, when you're in those situations, you don't always do the safest thing. And with this, obviously, they would never have known.
No, that's completely different.
But I just mean in general, when you go away, we know.
I mean, Judy, I mean, I think you can probably give countless examples where you've been told what you shouldn't do when you're travelling and done the complete opposite.
And here's our prime example.
I mean, look, I mean, I do... when I was, like early, 2019, I went on holiday with my friend and we went to New York and then we travelled to Jamaica and we literally got off the plane, met some guys and we was in a bottomless cave. Like bottomless in the water, like it was, just me, her, and about 6 guys. And they...
That you didn't know before?
We met 2 guys as we came on the plane on the bikes. We got on their bikes. We drove and got food. We met these other 2 guys. We were like, yeah, we'll take you to this nice tourist place. We went there. It was a cave and it was bottomless. We didn't have phones. We didn't have nothing. We didn't tell anybody we had drinks. And it was a place where you got all the mud rubbed on you. But luckily, we were safe. But when I think about what we did...
There's so much that could have happened.
Could have happened. And I suppose there's one anxiety from what your child might put themselves in, but obviously like this, the anxiety of what other people might be doing, you know.
Yeah.
Like, being a parent is beautiful, but anxiety, I've never had anxiety like this in my life, but I will still always, I just tell them everything so that they know.
Yeah.
And they're probably sick of me, but I would do what you did, Colleen. I want you to text me, call me, track them,
once
stalk
a
them,
day.
do whatever I have to
But
do.
also, as Colleen said, there's nothing you can do in some of these situations apart from try and be safe and try and teach them how to be safe.